Tonight, we journey into the cold, fog-draped streets of a place called Coldwater Creek, and into the haunting disappearance of Evelyn Hart, a mother, teacher, and neighbor whose sudden vanishing tore apart a community and uncovered a darkness that no one could have imagined. Evelyn Hart was 34 years old in the fall of 1998. She taught English literature at Coldwater High School, a small-town school where everyone knew her name. She lived alone with her 8-year-old daughter, Lily, in a pale blue house on the edge of town. She was the kind of person who baked cookies for her neighbors and left handwritten notes for her students. But she also kept a quiet side of herself, a private world no one fully understood. Coldwater Creek itself was a postcard town, brick storefronts, a diner with red vinyl booths, and a single main street that rolled into endless farmland. But like any place, there were undercurrents, and Evelyn was about to be pulled into them. October 14th, 1998, started like any other. Evelyn dropped Lily off at school, stopped at the post office, and taught her morning classes. That afternoon, she left work early, telling a colleague she had to meet someone before heading home. No one knows exactly what happened next. By 5:45 p.m., a neighbor saw Evelyn's car, a faded green Ford Taurus, parked in her driveway. But when Lily came home from a playdate at p.m., the house was dark, the car still there, and her mother was gone. There were no signs of a struggle. The front door was unlocked. Evelyn's purse was on the kitchen counter. Her shoes were by the door. It was as if she had stepped outside for just a moment and never came back. The investigation began within hours. Deputies canvassed the neighborhood and questioned everyone on Main Street. One lead stood out: a retired mechanic named Harold Boone told police he saw Evelyn standing at the edge of her driveway around p.m., speaking to a man leaning against a dark pickup truck. Boone couldn't see his face clearly, but he remembered one thing. The man never spoke. He only nodded occasionally as Evelyn talked. Harold said, "It was like she was talking to a wall." He just stood there. This mysterious man became known as the Silent Man. As investigators dug deeper, Evelyn's quiet image began to fray. They found several unsent letters in her desk drawer, addressed to someone named D. Speaking of fear, regret, and the feeling of being followed, detectives traced D to a man named Daniel Mercer, a former teacher at the school who had resigned 2 years earlier after an inappropriate relationship with a student came to light. Mercer claimed he hadn't spoken to Evelyn in years. His alibi for that night? He was home alone reading. Police couldn't connect him to the scene, but the shadow of suspicion lingered. 3 days later, volunteers and deputies searched the woods near Coldwater Creek, a slow-moving body of water that wound behind Evelyn Street. There, they found something chilling: a single woman's scarf snagged on a low branch, damp and covered in mud. Lily confirmed it was her mother's, but no footprints, no tire tracks, no body. The scarf raised more questions than answers. Did Evelyn run? Was she forced into the woods? And if so, where was she now? The case went cold. Over the next decade, sightings were reported as far as Kentucky and Ohio, women who looked like Evelyn, some even with small children, but none panned out. Lily grew up without answers. She once said in an interview, "The hardest part isn't knowing if she's dead. It's not knowing if she's out there somewhere, thinking about me." Rumors swirled that the Silent Man was a drifter who moved through town and vanished. Others swore Evelyn was hiding from something or someone much bigger. Somewhere out there lies the truth, maybe buried in the mud of Coldwater Creek, maybe in the mind of someone who's kept a secret for over 2 decades. Evelyn Hart was more than a mystery. She was a mother, a teacher, a neighbor, and for those who knew her, the silence she left behind is deafening. If you know anything about the disappearance of Evelyn Hart, contact the Coldwater County Sheriff's Office.